Hi, hi everybody. Welcome back to another episode. Sorry, my screen just froze. One sec. How's everybody doing today? Hi, Kay. Hi,
Hi.
Varun. Hi, Nitin.
Hey
Hey
Hello.
Sonny, how are you?
Good, good. I'm back. My screen is back. So welcome everybody to Bit Talks Revolution. A bit of introduction about the show. Bit Talks Revolution is a platform for blockchain enthusiasts like ourselves, gathering of leaders, influencers, and startup founders, investors, and community builders, with a goal to share insights and innovative ideas, uniting the blockchain community, fostering knowledge exchange and collaboration. This show is presented by NORDEK, a prominent crypto payments and gaming solution provider on News Crypto, a leading one-stop news portal for cryptocurrency and blockchain. Myself, Sonny Mohanty, I'm the Vice President for NORDEK, APAC based in Singapore, and my co-host Nitin Gupta from the News Crypto. Over to you, Nitin. How are you?
Thank you, Sonny. I think I'm a bit too jet lagged after the Token 2049. I think all of us here are. I mean, it was a great experience. It was a different entire world altogether. I mean, having so many crypto folks like-minded and so many advanced-minded people at one spot. It was like crazy. I'm still in a bit of a hangover, like trying to figure out how much insightful discussions I had with so many people there, and it was just amazing. It was the place to be. And yes, I am giving you all a FOMO because I would have definitely got one if I hadn't, like literally attended the event. So yeah, that is how I have been feeling.
Yeah, I know. I was about to ask that question because I met Varuni, I met you. You guys are all
Yeah.
in Singapore. So we could gonna go over some of the news, some of the current news. But before that, I'd like to like our speakers to introduce themselves, starting with Varuni from News Crypto. Sorry,
Hi.
What?
Voice of Crypto.
sorry, Voice of Crypto. I'm so sorry
Voice of
about that.
Crypto. Right here. No worries. I am Baruni. Hi, everyone. It's great to be on this show that Sonny is hosting with Nitin. And thank you for inviting me over. I am the editor in chief of Voice of Crypto. We are a news, media, multimedia platform. We're based out of India, London. We have a global approach. I think one of the other guests is here as well. Um, All right, so we a little bit about myself before I talk about Voice of Crypto. I have been an on-chain analyst. I work with some of the top firms like Beam Crypto, AMB Crypto, FX Empire, and in my uh, last 3 to 4 years, I think I joined the space in about 2019. That's when I started trading cryptocurrencies. Not a great place to be in, but you do what you do, and I'm glad that I did that, and I am here now. I did get into on-chain analysis, after which I was picked up by some of the top media firms to analyze cryptocurrencies, altcoins. And soon enough, I met my co-founders, and we founded Voice of Crypto. As the name suggests, the idea behind Voice of Crypto and why we are different, I feel, is that we try to be the voice of everyone in this space, and we know that this space isn't very big, and a lot of people need a platform to talk, and that's what we do with Voice of Crypto. At Token 2049, we happened to have we happened to interview more than 100 people, and I'm proud to say that we were able to interview some of the top voices in this space: MakerDAO, Phantom, Yuga Labs, and a lot more people, and Mocha Brands as CEO founders. So I had some amazing conversations at 2049, and it did not absolutely seem like we are in a bear market. The enthusiasm, the sentiment analysis, which I usually do when I'm trying to analyze cryptocurrencies, I think the sentiment analysis at the conference itself was pretty bullish, whatever the market suggests. It was great to see so many people talk, have insightful conversations, and talk about what they're building. And yeah, glad to be on this platform with all you lovely people.
Thank you so much, Voice of Crypto. Yeah, I totally agree with you. The sentiments were really, really high this year as compared to last year because I attended last year token as well, 2049, and I think this year it feels more bullish. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Next we have Kay. Hi, Kay. How are you?
Hi, thanks for having me here. Thank you.
Perfect. We would like to have a short introduction about.
Yeah, sure. I'm currently CMO at Fiat 24, and we're based in Zurich, in Switzerland. Maybe we can kind of see this isn't a fake background, it's actually the Lake of Zurich behind me.
Ah,
And yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity to go to Token 2049 this year, but it sounds amazing. And I hope that I will actually go to this Hong Kong FinTech Festival in November, which also sounds really great. Yeah, just a bit about myself. My background is in advertising and marketing. And before I started at Fiat 24, my work was in like traditional kind of web 2 advertising and marketing, but I got into DeFi and crypto and blockchain at the beginning of last year. And it's been a really amazing journey. So I'm excited to tell you guys about Fiat 24 as we go on with this show. So thanks for inviting me.
my pleasure. Thank you so much, and welcome to Bit Talks Evolution. Kay, it's good to see you. And we met this year in Zurich. And yes, I just came to know that you're attending Singapore FinTech Festival, and we're gonna be meeting again.
Mhm.
Great. Thank you. Well, hi, Myrtle. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me here. Way back, we're in the same panel when I went there in Singapore for a week a bit, right? So thank you so much for having me here, and I'll see you again in Tech Business Week. I believe. I believe it's part of Singapore.
FinTech
Yeah,
Festival. Yeah, is it in November?
yeah. I believe it's October.
Oh,
It's a,
okay.
it's a different one.
All right. But yeah, maybe I'd be there and obviously gonna be see there. Yeah, sure.
All right. So just an introduction about myself. I wear many hats in this space. But I started out, me and my company started out as an events company here in the Philippines. So we're the pioneers in basically organizing events because I saw there's only 10 people attending way back 2018 in blockchain events here. So I just want to solve that. And at the same time, when it comes to uh, the issues when it comes to sponsorship, not providing value to the sponsor. Yeah. So basically, when it comes to the hats that I'm wearing right now, so I'm the founder and CEO of Block Tides, and I just stepped down as the CEO of PlaceWar, but I am also part of Forbes Business Council and Cointelegraph Innovation Circle. And pretty much, we are a full service firm, not just for marketing now, but also for tech. We can develop a lot of things as well because why not? Philippines is a great country. I'm from the Philippines, by the way. And at the same time, we raised $50 million all throughout the history when it comes to the projects that we're helping. And that's pretty much the quick background about me.
Oh wow, excellent. I know Philippines is a big market for crypto, especially in the gaming space. And
Actually,
Yeah.
it's just for the community. So I will solve and make a lot of entrepreneurs when it comes to the Philippines,
yeah,
and that's basically because if you think of lack and you're not gonna solve something or not gonna do anything about it, you're just pretty much complaining. So we will do that at the same time. It's gonna be like the melting pot of marketing and gaming, and at the same time tech and entrepreneurs as well. Because why not? Singapore is like that. Malaysia is becoming like that, and at the same time, Indonesia. And it's never too late to make that change.
I think the the Philippines Blockchain Week is also happening
Right.
next week or
Oh,
so.
because I'm doing a lot of things when it comes to yeah,
Yeah, that's great. Glad to have you here.
and I
Glad
just
to, yes.
arrived. I just arrived from Singapore, basically.
Singapore?
oh, the
Yeah,
token 2049. Yeah, I saw you there. Yes. Sorry, I've seen many people, but I couldn't exchange one-on-one, conversations because so busy out there. But good to have you, Myrtle, and welcome to Bit Talks. All right, I think we've set with introductions. It's news time now. Let's just go over some current trending news. Nitin and Varuni, who else do I ask for?
Uh, I think ladies first, and I feel so glad seeing women in the three, and I'm surrounded by you also. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to
Varuni,
point
why
that
don't
out.
you go?
Absolutely. My pleasure. Firstly, like Nitin very well said, really happy to see so many women. Panel, this panel is clearly being dominated by women, and it's such a pleasure to have more women on the panel than men. No competition here, but it always feels great. And there was an event that I was attending in Singapore. It was organized by the World of Women, and it was great to meet so many lovely and powerful women who are trying to build such amazing things there. And just seeing how the space is more balanced and more inclusive is something that we are really proud of. As for the news, what the top news of the day are, before I dive into a news that really caught my attention today, I would talk a little bit about the market. And if I take a look at the market, there are a lot of greens in the market today. However, let's not get too ahead of ourselves before we dive into the market. And the we can see that there are a few key support levels that were sort of crossed. We're still away from major resistance that Bitcoin needs to clear. And before Bitcoin clears that, we cannot expect anything great from altcoins as well. We know that the market right now is such that Bitcoin sentiment analysis is what would be key to analyzing the market, and most of the altcoins would ideally be following Bitcoin unless there's a major upgrade or a major development coming up for altcoins. Toncoin would be one key altcoin that I am sure a lot of analysts would be taking a look at. And the reason behind that would be we saw a major rise in terms of their market cap in the last couple of months, from not being in the top 100 to now being in the top 30, if I'm not wrong, the top 20 coins. Talking about the news that really caught my attention today was Animal Brands. They're quite a prominent player in the crypto space. I recently had a word with Yat. We interviewed him sometime back on Voice of Crypto as well. And they sort of make a lot of strategic investments in the space. And they recently announced plans to launch a metaverse ecosystem token on the Bitcoin network. And this would be supported by the Ordinals protocol. And we had a lot of word, and we had a lot of discussion around Bitcoin Ordinals and towards the beginning of this year. And there were a lot of investments made into the Bitcoin Ordinals. However, the hype faded away. However, it's good to see a lot of action back to Bitcoin Ordinals and seeing institutional investment flowing into the space. Now, I will talk a little bit about what would happen in this sort of metaverse ecosystem token, and this also sort of plays in the narrative of how metaverse isn't still outdated, while a lot of outsiders, and when I say outsiders, I mean Web3 outsiders. A lot of outsiders might consider NFTs and the metaverse a fallacy or something that wouldn't work. However, we can see that interactive gaming is still a thing, and I met a lot of people at the conference as well who were talking about gaming assets and the entire gaming NFT metaverse ecosystem. And looking at these pieces of news, it does still feel like there's a lot of inflow in these sort of sectors. The protocol, however, that these people are going to build is going to allow users to record NFT-like assets on the blockchain and sort of create BRC20 tokens on the Bitcoin network. Now, the reason why this caught my attention was because they have a long-term vision for the metaverse, which includes immersive gaming, like I mentioned, immersing gaming experiences, brand integrations, and real actions, and so on and so forth. And we know that a lot of brands with AI stepping in are sort of pivoting towards gamifying their own protocols. And yeah, really looking forward to this, and really looking forward they will be able to integrate Bitcoin ordinals, NFTs into this immersive gaming experience. And a lot of VCs and the funders that I met were looking forward to this sector and were looking forward to invest into this space. So yeah, I'm sure that I am optimistic, and so is the space about this development. I guess over to Nitin. That was me.
Thank you, Varuni, for telling us the news and relating it with your own experiences. I think that gives a personal touch to it. Uh, hey everyone. So I'm pretty sure you all know about Mark Cuban, the famous billionaire out there. So there's something that that actually we all from the Web3 world can feel related to. So the billionaire got hacked for close to $1 million. So for $870,000 in a wallet hack. So he downloaded MetaMask through a Apple Store or Play Store, and it was definitely a phishing attack. So he got drained out of all his assets. There are news that he might have recovered a certain amount of it, but we are not sure yet. But it feels like human. There's a common saying in Web3: if you are in Web3 and you haven't been scammed yet, are you really in Web3? So I think Mark Cuban led the way here also. Uh, how many of you, by the way, from the panelists, have you ever been scammed in crypto? Like, raise your hands. Yeah, Sony has been. She's proud. Like, yeah.
Yes, I have been. You asked the question and I gave you the answer.
That's amazing.
Those are early
Okay.
days. Then there was those are really early days back in
Yeah.
2013. Was when I wasn't sure about like a transaction hash. You know that big number that
Uh-huh.
appears when you transfer remit money. I was confused between ERC20 and TRC20 and
Yeah.
all those different blockchains having different hash numbers. I remitted money to a different wallet that I was
Address. Yeah.
but these days no.
You have learned your lesson.
I have indeed.
How about K Varuni? And I
Um,
think Mai's not here. Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Oh, you are here.
I
Yeah, yeah.
haven't
Sorry.
been scammed yet or hacked or anything, but one good practice that I've learned about is to have like just a lot of different kind of MetaMask accounts and have them be empty or just have $5 or $10 inside so that if you're not really sure about what you're connecting to, it's like you can lose nothing or not a lot. So the one that you actually have your a lot of assets in it, of course, don't use it to connect to stuff that you don't know. And this story about Mark Cuban is really wild. Like, I can't imagine anyone keeping that amount of money in your MetaMask account. Like, it would never occur to me to do that. It's crazy.
That's a loose change. I mean, that amount might be for big for us, but for him, it's probably loose change. So, you know,
It's still crazy, you know. You would
yeah,
think
it
people would
is.
know better than to do that.
But you haven't been,
Oh,
you guys never been subject to a hack that was done to a centralized exchange because before the decentralized wallets came into place, we were like I had account in every single centralized exchange.
Yeah.
Anyway, Binance got hacked. Few other obviously FTX are not going there. Anyway, the liquid central exchange from FTX, it's like I can't trade anymore, but that's not hacking, but that's different story. No, no, no assets stolen from any centralized exchanges. No, nobody.
None.
No.
Okay.
Actually, I just want to add on that on a different sense. So,
Yeah.
is actually like uh, no, this is just a funny way for me to intersect this. It's just like an personal experience is actually being used by other people, part of being scammed. I believe yes, because mostly when it comes to that, of course, we have credentials already, right? We've proven so much when it comes to this space, and a lot of people really wants to do the shortcut, and that's what I recently realized, And I still trust people. At the end of the day, I still have a good heart. But at the same time, this kind of scam is basically an emotional one, and I hope that you will not experience that.
I totally agree. I mean, we have come so far that with kind of market getting matured, and we've sort of learned our lessons. Yeah.
so I think the story goes like uh, Kay has been the smarter one of us. Like she learned her lessons from the other failures or other people. But more and more new people will come. They will fall for a newer scam. It happens every time. It happens every bull run. Like Earlier people were like, once Luna happened, it won't happen again, but it will. FTX has happened, it won't happen again, but it will in some way or the other. I think that is the part of the cycle. But
Not really scam, by the way. I FOMOed into one project, and it's
yeah,
been
I mean,
I I don't have any access to any private tokens way back. I'm starting, and I couldn't. So I lost money, but still, of course,
yeah,
it's learned, right?
yeah. I mean, we got a fall before we could learn to walk. So
Yes,
yeah.
right. Phoenix.
On that note, let's just start our today's show.
Yeah.
Sony, over to you.
Yeah, sure. Was a good warm up. So, Kay, are you ready with your presentation? We'd
Yeah,
like to know about Fiat 24 and what all good stuff you're doing.
yeah. Just 1 second. I will just. Uh, can you see my screen?
Yes, now, yeah, it does. We can see your screen. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's really exciting, as I said, to be here with you guys. I've really enjoyed the talk so far as well, and I'm really happy to tell you a little bit about Fiat 24, and I hope that you'll be interested in what we're doing. So as I said at the beginning, we are based here in Switzerland, where we have a license, and we are fully regulated by the Swiss financial regulator, which is called FINMA. And our two co-founders are made of ex-bankers and also one guy who worked for the Swiss Stock Exchange. And they all were kind of united in their belief that legacy banking systems are quite outdated and that they could benefit from blockchain technology, especially when we think about improving transaction times, transparency, and efficiency in the way of operating costs, all while maintaining scalability. So I'm sure everyone listening is quite familiar with both MetaMask and Revolut. I think while there are some similarities, there are also quite a few differences. So with MetaMask, the currency is crypto. Revolut is predominantly for fiat money, but it also does have a little kind of crypto aspect to it. MetaMask, as we know, is all blockchain based, whereas Revolut uses traditional servers. And on MetaMask, users can remain anonymous, while to use Revolut, you need to do a KYC process. MetaMask is decentralized, so we could say it's quite unregulated, but Revolut is definitely regulated. And the funny thing is that MetaMask has around 80 employees, whereas Revolut has 2,000. So when I talk about being more efficient while remaining scalable, when you see the turnover plus how many people it takes to run each of these apps, I mean, that's already a huge thing. So what if there was a way to kind of enjoy the best of both worlds from MetaMask and Revolut? What would that look like? So this is where Fiat 24 comes in. In a traditional e-banking scenario, users access their bank accounts with usernames and passwords, and they usually receive an SMS text message to obtain all of the transactional confirmation codes that you need to complete payment orders. And all the client data and transaction records are stored in a bank's backend database, which are exposed to a single point of failure. So with the Fiat 24 platform, we have designed a totally different technical architecture that is truly actually Web3. Each of our clients holds a unique NFT, which represents their identity and gives them access to their cash accounts. So we have completely abandoned like the traditional login that you have in e-banking. At the same time, we don't compromise client data or security because we fulfill all of the same AML requirements as traditional financial institutions do. And essentially, you can think of Fiat 24 as the fiat layer between DeFi and TradFi. So we act as a bridge between traditional finance and decentralized finance. So on one hand, enabling users to remain anonymous while enjoying the convenience of TradFi services like our Visa debit card. So the Fiat 24 NFT gives you access to your digital identity. It gives you the Visa debit card, which works seamlessly with your Apple Pay or Google Pay, so you can do everything directly in your phone. Coming soon, before the end of the year, we'll also give you a Swiss IBAN, so you basically can have your Swiss offshore account, which is pretty cool. And it also gives you access to our dashboard, which is like e-banking. So as I said, we are licensed here in Switzerland, and the next step for us will be to try to get a Swiss full banking license. So if you just see here quickly, I mean, with this license, it says like what we are allowed to do. So unlike, a normal bank, we're not allowed to do such things as lending, but we can accept up to this amount in deposits. So if we take a look, for now, your MetaMask is only a place to store your NFTs and tokens, but it's not a way to put them to use or to spend them. So imagine if you could have access to a Visa card directly inside your MetaMask. So that means that you don't need to go through multiple steps, which are complex and costly, just to off-ramp or spend your crypto. And this is what you can achieve with Fiat 24. So we believe all you will need to bank is your crypto wallet and Fiat 24. So I hope that was a good explanation.
Excellent. To the
Yeah.
point presentation. I'll take a question, but before that, I'd like to ask anybody has any question, Nitin, Farni, for Kay or Myrtle, yeah?
So, Kate, great presentation. Thank you. Thanks a lot for that. I would like to understand how many countries are you currently operating in?
Yeah, so there are different layers to what we offer. So the NFT, like anyone around the world can own one, just like with any NFT. And to use our e-banking dashboard DApp. That's open to lots of countries around the world. We have a list on our website to show just the few countries we don't support, but that's pretty open around the world. And for the Visa debit card, at the moment, it's only available in the EU and Switzerland. But actually, our next target is to expand actually to Southeast Asia, which we find super exciting as a region. And after that, we will continue to expand.
Yeah, I mean, Southeast Asia is a place to be, no denying.
Yeah, I mean, I was in Singapore last year, and it was really like, I don't know,
Promising.
a great feeling. Like it was exciting. And from what I've read in the news, like it's very exciting there and very open, and people are really interested. So,
Hmm. No, that's true.
yeah.
Uh, yes, Sonny. I mean, anyone else if has any questions?
I have got a question. I just want to know because in this space of like a crypto debit card or a credit card, there are many players out there. So how do you stand out from others, and what's your revenue channels?
Yeah, so there are two ways that our card is different. First of all, if you look at the Bitcoin or Coinbase or even crypto.com card, they're all built on Web2 infrastructure. So it's all connected to centralized exchanges. But with us, as explained in my presentation, we are more built on Web3. So that's one difference. And the second thing is with us, you can be more flexible. So you're not constrained to just being in one ecosystem because you can connect via your preferred wallet. And in terms of revenue streams, we have our token, and of course, there are some price points related to transactions and crypto top ups when people make them. So it's a combination of things.
Right. Got it. Thank you for that explanation, Kay. If you don't have any further questions from anyone, thank you so much, Kay, for the presentation.
Thank you.
We're gonna swiftly move over to Myrtle.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
All right. So I pretty much don't have a presentation because I want it to be like more on the conversational side.
Sure.
But basically, I will discuss about what we're doing in block tides. So it's a quick introduction. So I already mentioned that basically we started out as an events, and during pandemic, events are not possible, and at the same time it's the only not really only living, but mostly our service really falls into that, right? So we don't charge our clients high, and that's for sure. We don't charge our attendees as well when it comes uh, to the events. So that's what I want to solve when it comes to the events industry. And we're going to be launching an events app. And basically, Block Tides is already partnered with, you can see that, most of the events worldwide. So we'll be launching our own aggregator for us to be able to basically help a lot of events, curate them. So there will be no people that can be scammed when it comes to the legit events, right?
Right.
So they will know when it comes. No, it's the reality. I just actually encountered that 2 days ago. Someone used my face on their website, and basically the event is not possible. I mean, the event is not really happening. Someone messaged me, right? So that's the thing that I really want to solve when it comes to the bad actors. Because again, I saw this while I actually woke up earlier. If you actually know something is or someone is doing bad, the worst thing is you don't actually do anything about it. So that's the reason why, in a subtle way, we want to solve it. So our marketing services as well. So we want to empower. This one is really ego death for me because I'm a marketing service as well. So I want to launch this platform at the same time with the events app when it comes to the marketing services all around the crypto industry and also the web too, right? Because you'll never know that you actually need services from traditional experiences. And to be honest, they are more ethical than what's happening in the Web3 space, right? And you all know that, especially when it comes to handling logos. So and also, we're launching our school, by the way, when it comes to creatives for entrepreneurs. That's what I mentioned, right? So we are trained here in the Philippines to be like the slaves, and that's part of our history. And at the same time, through education, not really removing the current education because that's destruction. And I don't want to basically have enemies. But of course, it's basically opening the eyes of other people that there's another option for you to go to when it comes to the schools: creatives, arts, AI, blockchain, and technology, and at the same time, entrepreneurship. And the last thing that we're basically gonna do, so we also have a foundation, and we'll be basically backed by most of the governments and sovereign funds, and we're gonna be incubating a lot of projects. Actually, this is a good way. Thank you so much for inviting me, Sonny, because this is the first time that I ever announced this. I've been silently building, and of course, like a puzzle, right?
Yeah.
You connect a lot of people, a lot of services, and I want to solve each industries, especially entertainment. Because in entertainment industry here in the Philippines, there's a lot of Filipinos who's very talented
Right.
and we love to sing. And at the same time, when it comes to politics and of course power, if someone likes you from an agency, that's the current problem. But we really need to highlight those who really shines when it comes to their talents, not just by their looks and the influence. So it's just like in Korea, right? They're supported by the government through funds,
Yeah.
and that's the reason why they're a global sensation now. So we need to actually do that, especially in the entertainment and film industry.
Good.
And we're gonna be doing that for Block Times.
Amazing. Great, great. I mean, what do I say? But I really agree to what the point that you mentioned before. I have come across like, my face has been on an event page, and I am totally unaware of it. And people have asked me, messaged me on LinkedIn and WhatsApp saying, "Are you going to be there?" I was totally like blown away by that, message when I checked myself out in that event. I actually missed out. So how are you to solve this problem of fraud? Because you don't subscribe to these events, but they've just take you because your picture is publicly available, your profile is publicly available. They just take it and dump it on a website.
So that's the reason why, even though I'm not into heavily okay with the verified badge being paid, so there's a lot of people who can't actually afford that. So I really invested on that, and it's really worth the money. And at the same time, continuous education when it comes to cybersecurity, fraud. Of course, NORDEK, you do have a huge use case, and it's an exchange. You handle a lot of projects, and at the same time, it's really prone to scams, right? So proper education, because we already have free tools for us to promote that information. So that's what I do, and people knows here in the Philippines. Sadly, there's a lot of people who really fall into the prey of really giving money, and I don't compensate, but I actually transmute because it's not my fault, right?
Yeah,
Actually, someone copied me. I'm being a real estate investor in the US in Instagram. So I provide education, and that's what we can actually do in a good way.
yeah, absolutely agree on that front. Very interesting insights.
And report, by the way,
Hmm?
I actually turned down
Okay.
the the impersonator that I have on Twitter.
Yeah,
So if you actually report and send your ID, X is going to turn it off immediately for you. And it's really good.
perfect. Any questions for Myrtle? Kay, Nitin, Ronnie, anything?
Not a question, but just an anecdote. I mean, in India as well, there was an event where it was promoted that Elon Musk and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting, and later on, obviously no one did, and somebody called on the police, and the entire event got a buzz. Like it was crazy.
That was
Like
extreme, huh?
yeah,
That was
that
very
was.
extreme.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. Most of the people were upset because the event organizers had charged a, a huge amount of fees for the attendees, and they had also promised a lot many VCs, so venture capitalists will visit, but nobody did, and it was a crazy
Actually,
affair.
it's a good idea. So it's actually like you're gonna be like not really the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
So most of the people can actually like approve if that's a legit event or not, who's the
Hmm.
organizer in a DAO way. I'm not gonna do that first with our own project, of course, but it's a good integration when it comes to
Yeah,
DAO, right?
very true. So yeah, uh, great job. I think you are gonna solve a great problem because as many events are gonna happen, the people who are new to crypto space will definitely need the guidance.
Right.
Yeah,
I think
Absolutely.
this is a real problem because we all are so active in attending conferences, right? And I have seen the profiles of big people being featured on the websites, but when we actually go there, it's empty.
yeah,
You feel
no,
hugely
that's true.
disappointed depending on the sponsorship amount that you paid. Right? This is a real problem. Yes.
Great.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Perfect. Before we wrap up the show, I would like to take some last thoughts from each of you, and hopefully we can meet again in person, all of us, like Kay at Singapore FinTech Festival, and sure Myrtle as well, and Nitin and Baruni as well. So last thoughts before we wrap up the show.
I think we should start with our guests. So, Baruni, K, Mortal, in that order, please.
Absolutely. Great show, great chat, and some really interesting anecdotes were shared. And to add to that, I know that sometimes we ourselves, being people who have been in this space for so long, have been scammed or have been a part of scams, or our faces have been used and for scamming other people. And I think I also faced a similar instance where someone was scamming people on Facebook, on other social media apps through my fake profile, which again had been made into someone else's fake profile. But I think what matters here and how we can gatekeep is, I think, taking those minor steps, like Myrtle very well said, that you can always report, tell them that they're impersonating the person. And now I feel now more than ever, it's important to take responsibility for your actions. And we're in a space that's constantly growing, and there's so many new people who enter the space and might find it a little bit too overwhelming. So as people who've been in this space already, it becomes our sort of moral duty to help people navigate in these tides. And I want to really lay stress on this word that we often throw around a lot in this space, but I think it should be something that you should get started on yourself. That's do your own research. And I cannot lay more stress on the importance of researching, and any sort of scam or any sort of a theft can be avoided if only there's thorough research that you do before taking any step in this space. And you can even avoid events that sort of look a little bit scammy by cross verifying their social media account, cross verifying the account of the speakers who they say would be present at the social at their event, because if those speakers would actually go to those events, they would probably end up sharing it. So very small steps we can take to sort of save ourselves from scams out there. And of course, self custody is the name of the game going forward after whatever happened in the market last year, especially with FTX and centralized exchanges sort of, yeah, facing the brunt of this space. So yeah, self custody, do your own research. And yeah, more inclusivity in this space is what I stand by, and would love to meet you all in person really soon. Thanks for having me here,
Thank you. Thank you.
Sonny.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. It was really an interesting conversation to join. And yeah, I mean, I'm just personally quite excited to see how crypto payments will continue to develop at before the end of this year and into next year. As I was saying just before we went live to all of you guys, I just read this morning the news story about Grab, that they're going to be making this Web3 wallet, so allowing people, to kind of access taxi and food delivery, and also expanding into this digital payments app. That's so exciting. And also to keep seeing that Visa and MasterCard, the big two payment giants, continue to express their interest in crypto payments. And I know that NORDEK is also going to be the next big guys to join in. So that's what's really exciting to me. So thanks for having me, and I hope to join you guys again. Thanks.
Thank you. Welcome. Um, Myrtle, over to you.
Of course. So I would like to invite you for our upcoming event here in Manila, Philippines.
Right.
So again, we're the pioneers in basically I will say it, in organizing events since 2017, along with Ken, Asia Token Fund. We started it out as a tour, and of course, here in the Philippines. So I will send an info of a formal invitation, of course, through your emails, all of you guys here. Especially, my dream country is Switzerland. So that's really my dream country, and I know that I'll be there. But anyway, again, what I said earlier. So this is very unconventional in providing advice. But be careful who you partner with in this space, because not everyone has a good intention. You need to actually have what I call this shared values and principle, because that's the most important lesson recently that I've encountered mid year. So especially you guys, right? So you will accept like coins, so it's not being exclusive, but it's really part of responsibility as a whole for us to be able to curate, even in events, right? If it's a scam event, why not? Because I love this slogan from the UK: see it, say it, sorted. So we need to do that.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for
Say
having
it,
me.
see it, do it.
Yes.
Do it. Yes. Perfect.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much, all of you, for taking your time out and sharing your great insights today on Bit Talks. I hope to see you again someday on Bit Talks or maybe at a physical in-person event. And yeah, this is a weekly show, and we'll be back soon. Me and Nitin will be back soon again next week with some new guests and new speakers. Till then, take care and thank you. Bye
Thank
Thank
bye.
you,
you.
everyone. Thank you for joining. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you for hosting us.
Don't forget to follow NORDEK and the news crypto so that you are completely aware about when is the next show and who are the speakers. We keep on doing this. Thank you,
Thank,
everyone. Have a
thank you.
great day.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Great day.
Bye.
Bye bye.